endorse him immediately after he was shot because when you see somebody under fire, what is their reaction to that? Because immediately, is someone brave or are they a coward?
Yes.
Okay, the bullets, they get hit by bullets. Blood's, come down the face.
Hello, and welcome to Intwine, your number one source of news and entertainment. Today, we're going to talk about this interview between Tucker Carlson and Elon Musk. I found it a bit interesting. So let's go right to it. All right? Let's check it out.
Attacking Trump like every day for 9 years, and he wins bigger this time than in 2016 against a candidate who's outspending him 3-1 all in. How could that happen?
No, it's remarkable. In fact, it's not just that the Kamala machine puppet machine campaign is outspending. It's not the Dems are massively outspending the Republicans in the swing states, including any.
Let me stop it right there. Can you guys imagine what would have happened if Kamala Harris would have won the election? Specifically, what would have happened to people like Elon Musk that oppose the regime? Can you imagine? It's been said that the Democratic Party spent around 900 million, somewhere around there. Insane amount of money. And they're still lost. Let's keep watching.
Contribution that I make. But you also have the sort of legacy mainstream media, which is overwhelmingly in favor of Kamala. They might as well be an extension of the DNC.
Well, they are,
yeah. The DNC just...
It's literally ABC, MSNBC, CNN, all the Spanish news network. They literally are a piece of the Democratic Party. That's it. It's just a fact. And they have lost so much credibility that somebody with 2 ounces of brain working will know this.
Just sends them whatever the talking points are, and they all just talk like NPCs, essentially, all day long, instantly. And then you've also got, God knows how many celebrity endorsements. It's like sort of running out of, there's anyway, call it 80%, 90% of celebrity endorsements on the Dem side. So basically, you have what appears to be a deck that is very much stacked in favor of the Dem. Like you said, how can a Republican win at all?
Yeah.
Now, one of the things that we did do to kind of even the odds was we massively improved the Republican ground game.
Let me tell you something. Now that he mentioned that, I believe it was CNN. They were running a poll on YouTube asking, I think it was the question was, should we get rid of the electoral college? Can you guys imagine if this country wouldn't have electoral colleges? This country would be a one-party country. That's it. Only the Democratic Party will win an election. This time around, the Democratic Party did such a horrible job with the border and the economy and everything in between that Donald Trump was able to win the popular vote. Did you guys hear what I just said? The popular vote. Unheard of.
My America PAC. massively improved the Republican ground game in the swing states. So the Democrats don't only have the best ground game, just in terms of knocking on doors, talking to people. Sounds simple. Just having a good sort of word of mouth virality campaign, having good messaging that appeals to people's specific interests. It just and then making sure people get to the polls. Just make sure that people have transport. The Democrats are normally extremely good with getting just
Yes.
Making it convenient. Because for a lot of people, if they'll vote, it's just maybe they don't have a ride. you
Yeah.
know? So we just made sure everyone had a ride. We made sure that we paid particular attention to the Amish community in Pennsylvania.
That's amazing.
Which is why
Had
I've been-
anyone ever gotten the Amish out to vote before?
What Elon Musk is explaining, they bid the Democratic Party in their own game. In 2020, when Donald Trump lost the election, which I still believe it wasn't 100% fair, which nobody can convince me otherwise. I mean, I'm blind. I'm like 80% blind when it comes to that subject. I'm pretty sure it wasn't clean. You know, because Joe Biden simply didn't campaign. You understand? Okay.
Not in significant numbers. But the Democrats did make a mistake because there was government overreach and with some of the Amish farmers.
Yes.
They're just, for them, there's no such thing as like organic farming or not organic. They're farmers. They've been farming the same way for a long time, and there was some, just government overreach that shut down some Amish farmers, which really, made them pretty upset. You just need to be able to channel that, the fact that they're upset and like, well, there's a thing you can do about it, which is called voting. And we're happy to, transport you to, they're allowed to ride in vans, as long as they're not driving the van. So, we're just making sure we bring them to the polls and they vote how they want to vote, which is going to be like 99.9%. Actually, call it 100.
At least.
Call it 100.
So these are
In
raw
favor
milk
of Trump.
producers.
Yeah.
So you endorsed Trump within minutes of him being shot. I mean,
Yeah.
how many? I mean, it was literally minutes, I think, as I remember.
Yeah.
And then you just went more all in than I've ever seen anybody.
For Elon Musk, the assassination attempt of Donald Trump, the first one, was like, the drop that fill up the cup. He was on the sidelines. He purchased Twitter because the guy is a true believer of free speech. You can say everything about Mr. Elon Musk, but the guy is a true believer of free speech. He overpaid $40 billion for a platform that do not worth it in terms of monetary value, but it worth much more to save this country, because without Elon Musk and Twitter, when he bought it, this country would be something totally different, because the Democratic Party pretty much had 90% control of what you see and what you hear everywhere. Google, Facebook. I mean, you name it, the Democratic Party pretty much owns it.
Buddy, ever. Go.
Yeah.
What was the? Did you ever doubt, or did you just decide to go all in and you just did it?
I mean, my philosophy is you play to win. You don't play by half measure. So, I mean, I was with the team every day, 7 days a week, just working the early votes in Pennsylvania and other swing states. First registrations. First, like if people don't register, they can't vote. So the initial focus was just maximizing registrations, and then once the registration deadline was over, just getting the early votes. Yeah, yeah.
X, from my perspective, played a pivotal role not just in this election but in keeping the country alive.
Yeah. Well, X is, I think, the one place where you can find out the truth.
Yes.
And
The only place.
yeah.
So every year when Apple releases the overpriced new
X is the only place when you can actually find the truth. It is true. You can actually get community notes from people that pretty much know what's going on. You don't get canceled anymore. You can post whatever you want on X and you will not get canceled. It doesn't matter your party. It doesn't matter your belief. It simply doesn't matter. It's a true platform for free speech. It's a true platform for free speech. Can you imagine how many celebrities endorse Kamala Harris? Everybody in Hollywood. Everybody. Everybody that has a name and fame endorse Kamala Harris. They obey the Democratic Party like sheeps. Because there's no other way to say this. How come you're gonna endorse somebody that nobody knows? Because she was there for 3 years, but no one knows who she is. Oh, let's go back to the video.
You have to censor it.
Well, I mean, apart from the multiple Democrats saying that I should go, they want to put me in jail, take away all government contracts from my companies, nationalize my companies, deport me as.
The Democratic Party is dirty. It's dirty. At least the old Democratic Party was the party of the people, the party for free speech, the party for the poor. Did you guys understand the evolution of the Democratic Party? It went south. It went the wrong way. It went the wrong way. Now it's the party of censorship, open borders, economic breakdowns, persecution, and yet you have all these celebrities that are supposed to be somehow how can I say this? Somehow a voice of the people. But this is not the case. This is not the case. They just follow like sheep. Whatever the Democratic Party wants, they will go out there without even knowing her name. A lot of them. Not even her name. And they will go and, this woman is the best woman. I'm like, I seen people talk and I can't believe what they're saying. They want us to forget that the Democratic Party ruined this country in these 4 years. You understand? And it's impossible to forget, because when you go to the supermarket and when you go to the gas pump, you can feel it. I'm pretty sure you guys understand what I'm trying to say. You can feel the necessity in the air when you go out and you feel depressed and you don't know why. And you got empty pockets and you be like, yo, something's going on. I'm struggling and I'm working so hard and I'm still suffering. And yet, everywhere I turn to social media or TV, I hear these wonderful things about this administration, that we're doing great, that we're doing awesome. It's kind of insane, to say the least. Let's keep watching.
Illegal and had me arrested because I'm apparently Putin's best friend. Nothing besides those things.
So you saw Rachel Maddow sort of casually, who's the single most popular media figure on the left.
Yeah.
For the record, say just sort of casually, well, Elon Musk will obviously need to be separated from his companies. You know, he can't be a government. He can't hold government contracts going forward. Like, how do you respond to that?
Rachel Maddow is a crazy person. You know, she's just a frothing at the mouth, crazy fascist, basically. Dressed as sort of pretending to be a liberal, but she's just really like I can't imagine imagine if she was in charge, actually in a position of political power, what a nightmare that would be.
Well, many would die.
Yes.
So do you expect the pressure will lessen now that Trump?
I mean, we'll
seems to be
see. I mean,
winning?
certainly last time President Trump was elected, I mean, I think they tried to impeach him within like 20 minutes of him taking office.
Yes.
This time, I don't know. We'll see. They may. I don't think they'll be quite as intense as last time. Because I think we actually have a decent chance here of a significant victory, not a small victory.
Yes.
And
Trump did a very significant victory. He won the popular vote, all the electoral colleges, the Senate, the House. I mean, my neighbor, your neighbor. I mean, he won everything. Literally. Everything. That's what happened when you mistreat your population. That is what happened. The population wakes up and punish you. That's what happened. This vote that happened this week, it was a message to the Democratic Party that they need to change. They need to transform the party. They need to go back to the roots. The party of freedom. The party of the working class. How many workers you saw in the Kamala Harris rallies? To the point, to put a nail on the coffin, Mr. Joe Biden called garbage out of his mouth. Garbage to half of the population. It's crazy. That happens when you are drunk on power. Drunk on power. You like so drunk that you feel unstoppable. Unbelievable.
at the point at which you clearly just have the public mandate, then you have the public mandate. I mean, I think the numbers I've seen were close to winning the popular vote in addition to the electoral vote, even though there's basically been zero campaigning in California, which is the biggest state in the country. So, sometimes people say, "Oh, the Republican didn't win the popular vote." I'm like, that's because he wasn't trying. If you actually try to win the popular vote, I think you do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't take that much. I think it made a big difference that President Trump and soon-to-be Vice President Vance went on lengthy podcasts.
Yes.
I think this makes it this really makes a difference because people look at like Joe Rogan's podcast, which is great, and Lex Friedman's and the All In podcast, and to a reasonable-minded, smart person who's
like I said, I'm gonna go back to my phrase, reach drunk on power. Okay? Joe Rogan interviewed Trump and Vance, right? But Kamala Harris and Walz, they didn't want to. They made it so difficult that Joe Rogan had to decline. The video is somewhere around there. Joe Rogan says, wait a minute. You want me to come to you and the interview, you put in all these conditions and the interview is going to be 1 hour? Wait a minute. No, I'm sorry. But at this point, I know you have all this media in your side, but Joe Rogan is the most powerful podcaster in the planet. Any politician will die to go there and expose what he wants people to know about him. Except Kamala Harris. I mean, they ran the campaign of fear, calling Trump all these names and all this stuff. But the thing is, we didn't buy it. We just didn't buy it. And we show it on the polls. We show it on the election day. The more you indict it, the higher he got on the poll.
It's not like hardcore one way or the other. They just listen to someone talk for a few hours, and they that's how they decide whether you're a good person, whether they like you, and especially like Rogan's podcast, 3 hours long. I mean, you could. This is why I actually posted on X the nothing would do more damage to Kamala's campaign than going on Joe Rogan, because she'd run out of non sequiturs after about 45 minutes.
You can't hide in 3 hours.
Yeah, like hour 2 and 3 would be a complete melted puddle of nonsense. So it would just be absolute game over. That's why I shouldn't go on.
So I mean, how does
Trump?
You guys remember? It got to a point that Kamala Harris answered every single question. It was all over the place with the phrase, "I was raised in a middle-class family." I mean, they literally asked her, "When were you born?" And she would answer, "I was raised in a middle-class family." It was that bad, because she was such a scripted politician, an authentic one, that she didn't have anything else to say. Nothing at all. Nothing that comes from the heart. That you can feel when somebody cares. You can feel it. It comes to you. It comes to you. When somebody tells you about their beliefs, about their personal life, and connects, you'll be like, oh my goodness, she's right. But it wasn't the case. Not at all. That's why she declined the Joe Rogan interview, because she had this speech, 1 hour speech, so she practiced that thing so much that like I said, you ask her a question about something totally different, and she would come up with an answer from the speech. I grew up in a middle-class family or something like that. It was somewhere around there. but it was so scripted that the only place she felt it safe was on CNN, MSNBC, any Democratic news network. She felt it safe and secure. She was smiling. And even then, even when she was on the network that favored her, she still messed it up.
On the hand, Trump he's there and there's no talking points. He's just being a normal person. He's having a conversation on and doing 3 hours of Rogan, no
What
problem.
do you think of him? You spent a lot of time with him in the last several months.
I think he's a very interesting, funny person, and much maligned by the media, obviously, and he's withstood a lot, and I think he's. You mentioned that as you mentioned, I endorsed him immediately after he was shot because when you see somebody under fire, what is their reaction to that? Because immediately, is someone brave or are they a coward?
Yes.
Okay, the bullets, they get hit by bullets. Blood's come down face. It could have been a second shooter, and yet he's going fight. That's true courage.
The mic went off. Like I was saying, you guys remember the shooting? He got up, fight. I mean, who does that? Who does that? Between you and me, I'd be running. I'm not as brave as Donald Trump. I'm going to confess.
Courage.
Yes.
Can't fake it.
Impossible.
And America is the home of the free and land of the brave. So that's who we want as president.
It was so.
We want a strong, brave person as president.
Amen.
And he is that.
How are you going to be involved?
Well, I've said I'd be happy to help improve the government efficiency, obviously Department of Government Efficiency, which I think is sorely needed. We've got a gigantic government bureaucracy. We've got overregulation. You've got agencies that have overlapping responsibilities. There's something like 450 federal government agencies. Almost 2 per year that company since America was founded. So I mean, we're just creating new agencies all the time, and it's getting to the point where basically everything's illegal. You just can't get anything done.
I've noticed.
And this translates to these become real costs to people. They're hidden costs, but they're very substantial. It's very hard to build new housing if you're burdened with massive requirements that don't make any sense. It drives up the housing cost. It slows down new housing starts. So we need to let the builders of America build.
Amen.
Yeah.
So you're not going to the gulag, it turns out.
Well, not immediately. I mean, maybe in 5 years. I don't know. They might be probably pretty grumpy about this one. But I think I got at least several years before I go to the gulag.
Well, congratulations. I've never seen anything like this in my life.
Exciting times.
Amazing.
And here's to a fantastic future.
Fantastic interview, like always. One point. Elon Musk will be great when it comes to government efficiency. It will be awesome. What I'm not sure is how that's going to work, because he got government contracts. So they have to figure a way out of this without breaking the law. Because we don't want Elon to get in trouble. So it's going to be kind of a challenge to find a legal way, in which Elon Musk can actually run this kind of government efficiency, this kind of entity, without harming his contract with the government or affecting any of that. But this idea that these men, the smartest men in of our generation, 2, 3, the smartest one, can actually come in and help out the government to save us, the taxpayers, billions and trillions of dollars. That between you and I, we know that a lot of this money simply disappear. You and I know that a lot of these politicians, they go to the government, and when they come out, they're ultra rich, and no one knows the secret. You cannot say the word corruption. No one knows the secret. I'm going to leave it up to here. My question to you is, do you know the secret that the politicians use, that when they go to the government with no money, when they finish their term, they come out ultra rich? All right? Leave the comments below. I'm going to read it and reply. Let's have this conversation. I see you in the next video. Bye-bye.